right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first inaugural season of EFS. I am your host today. I am Aaron Import Brooks, and I have with me Chris, and I don't know his last name because, I'm not going to say that unless he wants to. But we are here for EFF Finals. We are so excited. EFS Finals, and we're so excited to be here. We are going to be starting with groups 1 and 3 today and their matches today for the quarterfinals. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to have a little pre-show and kind of go through our finalists and see what we got going on, all our competitors, and hopefully we're going to have a good show this evening. Hopefully you're supporting us as we are nervous, and this is some of our first time doing something like this at this big of a scale, but here we are, here we go, and we can do it together. Chris, my man,
Hello.
how's it going?
I'm doing fantastic. Let's look at the finalists. Brought them up here
Ooh.
on screen.
Ooh, fancy. Technology's here. Let's go.
Let's go. Production value. Thanks for the follows, by the way. Yeah, what a 10 weeks it's been. Absolutely amazing season. And while we're talking about the season, I mean, let's just go through the top 16 and then talk about the showstopper, the one and only Switch.
Yeah, Switch is pretty crazy. Honestly, destroying the every week so far, except for the very last week, she decided to take a break, but man, she literally destroyed the competition. We're talking, I think 6 first place finishes and 2 second place finishes, or 3 second place finishes, math, because that's 9 matches. And honestly, won a ton of money on top of that. But the biggest thing that came out of Switch and her play throughout the 9 weeks that she played, she was so consistent and almost never faltered. And even the times that she did falter, she had such an amazing point lead that nobody could ever catch up to her, really.
Indeed, and not only that, not only is she consistent, but she's super fast. Talking about super fast, she's currently holding all 4 world records on all the 4 maps we're playing today. And I just don't know who's able to stop her. I mean, will we have an upset today? That's
Yeah, I
really the
mean,
question.
let's talk about that really quickly. I mean, we're going to be going into group 1 here in about 12-ish minutes. And I mean, Switch is in the first group, so we get to see her play. Also, Pulse-Dave, Craicy, and Shadowner are also going to be there. Pulse-Dave and Craicy. Pulse-Dave is for a TM2 full speed player. Craicy barely making it, the 16th seed. And then we got Shadowner, who ended up in, I believe, the 8th seed. And Shadowner had a really strong showing towards the end, actually rivaling some of the top full speed players that we had during the 10 weeks. So it would be interesting to see if Shadowner can actually show up today and kind of maybe give Switch for a run for her money. But honestly, I agree. Like, Switch is probably going to be the one that everybody's going to be having their eyes on. And hopefully today, Switch can show that she is going to take the entire tournament and show some dominance today as she gets to play first and stomp her competition. But we'll see, right? Anything can happen with this type of mode, right?
Exactly. I mean, it's cup mode, and the way we've set it up is one bonk and you're out. Like, we have a 2-second finish timeout. If you bonk, you're not gonna finish, and that's valuable points that you're gonna miss out on.
Yeah, I mean, points you're missing out on. I mean, yeah, like you said, bonking you only have 2 seconds to finish within the first finisher, right? So, I mean, if you bonk, there's no resetting here. One reset and you're gone. You might as well DNF. So, at
Or
this
you
point,
can't even reset. Like,
you can't. Yeah,
respawning is disabled as well, so you better drive perfect and better be consistent.
yeah, it'll be really interesting. So now I have to be fair, having watched all 10 weeks, Switch has made some mistakes. She has um had to reset sometimes and she's missed a couple. And I believe Avalanche was one of those maps that she did somewhat struggle on, and Refuge as well. So I mean, there's possibility that Shadowner, I see people in the chat saying Shadow Owner. I don't know how to pronounce it, but Shadowner is going to be for me today. And then if Shadowner wants to correct me, they can correct me later. But they have a chance to get in there. Pulsedave's actually been pretty strong too. Pulsedave came in later during the 10 weeks and drove consistently well. Got a couple top tens and might be able to pull a surprise one out of here too. Craicy is going to be the one that's going to have the hardest uphill climb today, with being the 16th seed. An average placement of, as I pull up my thing here, an average placement of about 15th place. So 15th place here is not going to cut it. So hopefully Craicy has practiced really hard and has done their homework for this last week and is ready to surprise a couple people.
Right. Especially since you mentioned Refuge, I feel like we should take a look at Refuge again. We haven't seen it since the first week of EFS. So let's just take a look at the world record here.
As Chris is actually pulling up the first world record, up here it goes right now. You might notice something going through this first world record. The car that is being driven is actually the championship trophy car that is going to be given to the winner at the end of this tournament. This is the gold Evo skin that we're debuting just right now, and I mean, it looks pretty awesome. I want one. Does that mean, but I have to compete and I'm not that great, so unfortunately I don't think I'll ever see one in my lifetime. And on top of that, any winner who gets one of these are going to have their name on top of it too, which is pretty cool.
Exactly, like this is a one-of-a-kind skin. This is our digital trophy, and let's see, can Switch win it, or who's gonna be it? That's really the question here, Aaron.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be a big question. I'm going to actually see if we can't get some of the players starting, and it seems they're having trouble getting into the lobby, so we're going to go ahead and handle that. And while that's being handled, I guess I can go and talk through some of the other players. I mean, I've kind of gone over a little bit of Switch and Craicy, but we can also talk once again over Pulsedave. For me, an interesting player. Pulsedave has actually been around for quite a while, and funnily enough, not many people recognized who Pulsedave was because they have a different name compared to what they had in TM2.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in TM2 the name was, and I just saw his name too. Where was
Muffet.
it? Muffet, there we go. Yes, so Muffet actually from TM2, and so somebody who's not new to EFS at all. And it'll be interesting to see how well they're going to be able to fare up against the 2020 style of full speed, if I can get my English words out there. But so far, honestly, not a bad showing. I would say an average of about 9th place throughout the 7 weeks that they were able to play. And honestly, getting into the seed that they have, 12th seed, with only 7 weeks to play, honestly isn't that bad. And what I'm getting now is I am getting now that the players should be able to join now. So if you're watching the stream at the moment, you should be able to join and get into the lobby. Once again, we are going to be going with Group 1. And Group 1 is going to be Switch, Craicy, Pulsedave, and Shadowner. So if you're watching the stream, you can actually join the lobby now. And you can start warming up for these last 5 minutes. If you haven't understood what the format is for this final, it is a 4-person group final or quarterfinal match. There's 4 groups with 16 players total. Top 2 are going to advance to semifinals, and then once we get all the semifinals filled out, it'll be top 2 from the semifinals into the final grand finals. And it is cup mode, so anybody who knows cup mode means they know that it's going to be to a certain point limit, and once you hit that point limit, you will become a finalist, and then if you win that round, you will move on to the next round. So that is the goal for today, and we'll see if they're able to get it.
Correct. We have a 140 points limit in the quarter and semifinals, and grand finals will knock that, we'll be increasing that to 160 points. We'll be seeing 5 rounds per map, and yeah, as I mentioned earlier, the finish timeout is really the crux here. Gonna be interesting to see how the players perform, definitely. And let's hope the players are able to join. It seems like we're having some technical difficulties still.
Yeah, my face is frozen on stream, but that's okay.
Oh,
You can
I
look at my beautiful
apologize. Yeah,
schmize.
Discord is
There we go. Oh, there we go. I'm back now. Let's go. All right. So at this point, we got 4 minutes left to go. I mean, let's talk about EFS. Like, let's talk about it in general. I think it was pretty crazy. We had about over 180 players participating. We had an amazing sponsor with us, One Shot Energy. And do you know what? Let me, before I even go into what stats we had for EFS, let's talk about our sponsor really quickly. Big shout out to One Shot Energy. They have been a major proponent in helping us be able to run this tournament and getting us that funding that we need to give a big incentive for these people. I think the skin is pretty cool, but also some cash is always not so bad to bring home after all, right? So big shout out to One Shot Energy. They did contribute to the 700 euro prize pool that we have today. And as another fun fact, if you were interested in trying out One Shot, you can go to oneshotenergy.com and use the promo code EVO and get 25% off your first order. If you're from US, shipping is free. If you're from Europe, you got to pay a little bit more. But honestly, me and Chris have actually tried it, and they're not that bad. I actually like them, and I find them very addicting, which might not be a good thing because I do love my caffeine. But if you want to try them out, go give them a look and see, and try some for yourself. They do have a sample pack that's not like a big like ask to have, and they're pretty good. So try them out. Thank you once again to One Shot, and maybe, hopefully, Grant is watching, but if not, thank you. All right, so.
Seems that the players are finally able to join the
Oh,
server.
yes, we have them joining right now. Oh, yep, and I see everybody in right now, which is pretty cool. And for those from Group 3, if you're watching, we'll also DM you on Discord as
Oh,
well, but your match will be happening at 2100 CET. That's 9 p.m. for us Americans in European time. And so we'll have a 15-minute break, hopefully, assuming that this match goes about 45 minutes long. Um, so to fill these last 2 minutes, again, I want to go over EFS. We had over 180 players. We had over 25 countries represented over 3 continents, from North America, Europe, Asia, and also Oceania. So that's 4 continents. I said 3. And yeah, it was pretty cool. And yeah, that was about it. That's all I can think about right now.
yep, and your camera keeps freezing because Discord is dumb. I
Discord
apologize,
play.
yeah. I have the pop out
It's
running and
okay.
yeah,
You
it's
guys aren't gonna really see my face that much, anyways. You just get to enjoy the white pastiness for right now. So, um, yeah. So let's see what else I can bring up here. So, for any actually big important news, if you are wanting to watch the rest of your fan favorites, if you have any, the quarterfinal matches for Group 2 and Group 4 will happen tomorrow on Saturday at 1400 CET. That's 1400 Central, 2 p.m. European Central Time. And the first one will start at 1400, the second one will start at 1500, and then we will play all the way through to Grand Finals. And Grand Finals will be starting at 1800 Central European Time. And so make sure to keep up and watch those for tomorrow because those will be really cool, really exciting, as we'll have a lot more information on who's showing up and who's not. So we are less than 1 minute away from starting. And our first map is going to be, which map is it going to be? Is it going to be Refugee or Huckleberry?
um um first map is gonna be Avalanche
Ah,
actually, as the
completely
randomizer
wrong.
has decided. Yes, we do.
Randomizer has decided Avalanche. Okay.
Yep. Avalanche is gonna be an interesting map. I would pull up the replay, but since we're already on the server, guess we can just watch the players. Let me switch over. And why is Trackmania not showing up on screen now? Wonderful. Hold on, technology.
The wonderful world of technology.
Oh yes. I do not understand why it is not working.
And I don't know if anybody else from Germany is uh, getting snow as well, but I am freezing right now. So
Oh,
I'm
there we
shivering
go.
like crazy. Ah, there we
OBS
go.
finally
Okay.
picked it up. Okay, there we go.
Perfect. All right, we are going to be starting in. We are going to be silent for the countdown. Are we doing a warm up first? I believe we are,
Yes, we
correct?
will be having one warm up. Okay, interesting. I will be...
Yeah, snowing in April. It's kind of crazy. It's winter not wanting to give up, but I'm honestly ready for the warmer weather.
Oh, I should probably enable sound again. Apparently there's no in-game sound going on right now. I apologize. Okay, there we go.
So there may be a little bit of dead air as we're going through the starting process here, but we will start talking again once we get past the final countdown. So we're going to take a quick small break, get the players in, and then we will return as soon as the match starts.
Okay, there we go. We're on the first map, Avalanche, and the players will be having one warm-up. And then we will see them starting the match. Okay, Aaron, are you here?
Yes, I am here.
Good.
Wonderful. We are going to watch them warm up here. So, predictions. I think it's kind of a given that Switch is going to make it through, but do you just want to give a hazard guess as to maybe who's going to make second for this group?
I honestly feel like second will be... I don't know. It's hard to tell. It's probably gonna be, in my opinion, Shadowner, or Shadow Owner, or whatever you want to call them. But honestly, I wouldn't be, I wouldn't mind an upset by Craicy.
Yeah, I think Craicy would actually be a fantastic like storyline, right? Cinderella story, because they are the last seed, so that would be so much fun to watch. We got 10 seconds here, and I'm gonna shut up in a little bit. But honestly, my prediction, straight out, Pulse Dave. I don't know why, but I just feel like he's gonna impress us today. So hopefully we'll see. All right, we are gonna start. We're gonna let the countdown go, and then we're gonna resume. And they are off. And honestly, I'm not going to do too much play-by-play, but we are going to kind of halfway talk, have a conversation, and halfway observe. I mean, the biggest thing for the first part of this is going to be consistency, right? Obviously, you want points, but if you bonk out, that's it, no points. So really, what you want to do is have the best consistent line and the most speed out of these lines. We do see here that Switch and Shadowner are ahead of Pulse Dave, which is not good for my prediction already, but hopefully maybe he's just warming up. Maybe it's a first warm up.
Yeah, I actually saw a Dave clip at the first RAM transition, I think. It was a very minor clip, but he did lose speed throughout the round because of that. And to nobody's surprise, Switch winning the first round with a 0.6 second lead. Absolute dominant performance, and it seems Dave had a late start. Well, Shadowner, actually. What is going on here?
Yeah, Shadowner had a crazy late start, so unfortunately I think they're going to be out this not out, but they're definitely not going to be getting any places soon unless somebody else messes up. Did Switch disappear? What happened to Switch? Did they DNF?
It seems like it. They are no longer on the map.
They are no longer on the map. That means Switch actually DNF'd second round. So that means Craicy, who's in second, is actually going to be first, which is crazy.
Absolutely crazy. And I guess my prediction is coming to life.
Maybe the maybe the Cinderella story is true today.
Apparently people are having some script things appearing.
That may be unfortunately I'm gonna hazard a guess and say it might be an Adio thing.
It might also be caused by something, like for example the HP bar from the EFS mode is still appearing good. If it keeps happening, we might have to take a technical timeout and try and solve the issue. But so far, let's focus on the match. It seems
to be fair, I'm not too worried for Switch.
Yeah.
Could have just been a fluke kind of thing, but I think Switch will be okay. But Craicy is ahead right now, and I wonder if they're going to be able to keep it.
I keep getting third. I got 4th place here, so him and Switch are actually both in 1st place. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, there went somebody flying. I think that was Pulstave who just went flying. They went ahead and DNF, so Pulstave is not looking pretty good right now for my prediction. Wow, so I guess Caster's Curse is an actual
And
thing.
we see Shadowner clipping here.
Yeah, Shadowner unfortunately clipping, but Switch and Craicy still holding on to that Cinderella story. I'm gonna keep on saying this word until I tire it out, but I mean, I'm down for it. I'm ready for something like that. Give me something interesting.
Give me some upset story.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think anybody would, after, you know, his performance throughout the regular season, I don't think anybody would have expected him to show up this convincingly here. And, I mean, only being 0.1 behind Switch, quite
not a bad showing for a 16 seed. Somebody who only finished an average of 15th on the regular season. So good on Craicy. I hope they continue it. Now, Chris, remind me and the viewers what is the point number we are looking for to reach finalist?
140 points, as it says in the top right. I don't know if it's that legible on stream. But yes, this should also be the last round we're seeing of Avalanche for now.
Great. It's 5 rounds per map, correct?
Correct. We will be moving on to Refuge after this.
Yeah, so maybe for somebody like Pulstave, who's been struggling on this map, I mean, Avalanche was a big struggle for a lot of the players. A lot of them had many issues, and many of them actually DNF'd during that time. And a lot of people dropped out really quickly during that week. So we're going to go to the next match, and I believe, yes, you did say Refuge, and it is Refuge. So maybe we're going to see something different here. I think Switch is still going to outperform everyone, but maybe we'll see Pulstave come back. Maybe we'll see Shadowner actually kind of show up a little bit. Because Shadowner's been actually sitting kind of in the middle, just kind of being pretty quiet, I would say, you know?
Yeah, and I don't think we've seen too many of these players actually play Refuge during the regular season. Shadowner probably played it, but I can't remember Craicy being there in week 1.
So Shadowner did play, but he finished 51st, so he did not...
yeah.
If I remember correctly, he was kind of bummed that Refuge was actually picked because he was like, that is a map I did not really play or train. So this map is going to be pretty rough for him, I think. And just even by the warm-up, I didn't notice if he actually clipped or not, but... I mean, warm-ups are warm-ups. That's the whole point of them. But hopefully, this is just an actual warm-up, and this isn't going to show what he's actually going to perform during the next 5 rounds. So, Let's see. We had Shadowner, yep, at 51st. Craicy actually placed 8th that first week, so Craicy hopefully will continue a good performance. Switch was, of course, 2nd, and then Pulse Stave was 13th for that week. So everybody has played this. I would just say that the weakest one will probably be Shadowner, but we'll see if he trained this at all.
And we actually see Craicy flying out right at the start. That is really unfortunate in the first round. He's gonna lose some very important points to secure his second spot here. Which with a commanding lead at the moment already, 0.5 ahead. I just don't know what to say. I mean, we were expecting her to show up, but like this? That is just
unfair. It's unfair.
It really is.
It's crazy how fast she literally is. And again, like you mentioned in the pre-show, like she has all 4 world records on each map.
Yeah.
So yeah, she did have that one unfortunate circumstance where she had to DNF. But honestly, like, does it matter at that point? Because she's gonna kill it the other rounds. So
yeah.
At this point, this entire tournament is going to be like, if we can go ahead and talk about some future matches, I think this match is really going to go to, in terms of the grand final. I mean, I expect to see Kirill there in the grand final, perhaps a Chroma, an Acid Gurkha, or Oxra, like all these people. Like, there's so many people that could be there, but I mean, once we get to the grand finals, I mean, I think it'll be a little bit tougher, but honestly, this entire tournament is Switch's to lose.
She absolutely, so absolutely. Wow, she's a second ahead of the second place. It's just mind-boggling to see. I mean, yeah.
We did see, I believe that was Pulse Stave bonking at the first section there.
Yeah, the first transition there.
Craicy's still with him. I mean, just watching Switch. Unfortunately, I can't get into the super details of full speed. But, I mean, her lines are clean. You can watch the drift. Now, unfortunately, Chris does not have the fantastic Evo lines pack that shows drift lines, but I do, and if you also have them as well, her lines are clean. Like, you barely see them moving when she's doing a speed drift. They're only adjusted when the curve is adjusting. So, I mean, the consistency, speed drifting, once you're at the top level, is somewhat second nature. But for somebody who's trying to improve, like, this entire tournament was about getting more people to be interested in full speed and trying to be a groundwork for people being interested in learning more about full speed. But when you're learning and you see these people with these crazy SD lines that are just so clean and so consistent without barely budging, I mean, it's intimidating. And I mean, what Switch shows is these super clean lines, and when you have those super clean lines, you gain better speed.
Yeah, you just see her flying past both Craicy and Shadowner here. Just absolutely bonkers speed slides. I was actually trying to render one of the replays earlier today, and it just showed me, like in the slow motion render preview, it just showed me how absolutely unwavering her speed slides really are. She's just holding that stick, the joystick on the gamepad, like, it just does not move. It does not budge at all. You see, like, no... You don't even see the speed slides changing by like a millimeter. That's just rock solid. That just goes to show to, you know, what she's capable of.
And it's not just what she's capable of, but just like the dedication she made to this event. It's clear that she didn't just kind of like halfway train this event. She really dedicated a lot of time to training this, and like, it's clear that her training paid off. And what's even crazier is that as we've been talking, she's now 10 points away from
100 points.
securing final. No, wait,
No.
it's 140.
It's
I am wrong.
140. Yes, she's at 90 points.
I'm getting a little ahead of myself. I'm sorry. I'm excited, but yeah, I mean, we're only the second map through, and I mean, if it wasn't for that one round, honestly, she'd already be right. She would already be at finalist.
If
So
I did see correctly, by the way, she drove within 0.15 seconds of world record in warm-up on Refuge. World record is currently at 48.52. That is just insane. Like, the last time I've seen somebody just casually show up and drive times consistently that are close to warm-ups was Mutta in the FMS Finals. And that was something else entirely.
So interesting that you bring Mutta up, because I do want to actually bring Mutta up. I mean, he is in Team GL, so I mean, he wasn't able to really participate at the latter half of EFS, but Mutta only played, I believe, 3 weeks, but because of his performance in those 3 weeks, he actually held on to a top 16 seed for the full 10 weeks, and it wasn't until the very final week, at week 10, he finally was replaced by Craicy. So, I mean, what does that mean? What do you think about that, though? As in, Mutta could actually be here right now, and he was definitely one of the top contenders and possibly having the ability to get a top 3 placement in this tournament, but he's not here.
Absolutely. I mean, I actually spoke to him earlier today, and he said, like, if TMGL didn't require such insane amount of dedication and preparation, that he would have loved to participate more, and I'm pretty sure that I would have loved to see both Mutta and Switch go head-to-head in the grand finals.
Yeah, I think that would have been crazy. I mean, to be fair, though, Mutta is doing an insane job in TMGL, and he's in, I believe, the top 5, if I remember last seeing correctly. Maybe somebody could correct me on that. But yeah, I mean, regardless, I mean, he's doing. He showed up for the weeks that he did, and he did cash some money. So I mean, good on him.
Yep.
So what are your thoughts on Impusa? Like, we're here on this map. We haven't really talked about it yet. We are on this map, and we've played 2 rounds already, I believe.
So,
is there anything interesting to look out for while we're here on Impusa?
Impusa has also only been played 1 week in the regular season. Both Refuge and Impusa, actually. Which is interesting. It seems like we've got some of the best maps at the beginning and right at the end. It's a very interesting map with lots of, you know, cool wall rides, some interesting transitions, turnovers, cake walls. It's your typical competitive full speed map. Like, what do you want me to...
I get where you're going. So I think, like, I mean, that unfortunately every full speed map could be described as that. But
unless
honestly,
it's
though,
a Firefox map.
I think this is a map that is, like, when I think of full speed, I think this map kind of makes the cake. It is very, there's a lot of interesting lines in terms of the wall rides and the loops, but very classic, recognizable full speed style that everybody knows and loves. And I think this map is kind of one of those, like, if you're a true full speed like Andy and you've been playing full speed all your life, this map should be like second nature to you, I feel like.
Yeah, lots of opportunities to actually keep your speed slides going for a long time, which is where Switch and Shadowner actually are both getting their insane speed from. We just take a look at Shadowner, pretty much also unwavering there. And, this is just, yeah, great to watch.
It definitely, Shadowner has finally kind of showed up a little bit here through consistency. I mean, at first it was kind of a question mark on whether or not they would be doing okay, because I mean, Craicy for a while there was doing well, and they still are for the most part. But on this map, honestly, Shadowner's just blowing Craicy out of the water in terms of the second place race. We are at 120 points
The Switch,
with
yeah.
Switch.
And
so
we actually saw Paul's Dave actually bonk at the beginning of the round. Probably not going to be able to finish here. I do want to look at the top 3 race though, because Craicy's actually not that far behind. It's actually a 0.3 difference, 0.2 difference between him and Shadowner. Let's see if he can catch up in the final few speed slides here, but looks like Shadowner
Craicy's
has
gonna
this on
have
a
to do
lockdown.
some really good lines on this roller coaster section at the end, but unfortunately it's not going to be enough. But we are going to see Switch one round away from 140 points, which will put them in finalist mode. So this mode, assuming that Switch does win first place, they are going to go into finalist mode, but then we are going to switch to the final map, Huckleberry. Do we want to talk about that really quickly and what we can expect on Huckleberry?
Huckleberry is, I feel like one of the more interesting maps, especially from a visual design. We will go a bit more in-depth when we're actually on Huckleberry. I don't remember the route off the top of my head. I just know that it was actually one of the more well-liked ones by the participants.
Yeah, Huckleberry was definitely more one of the better, well-received maps during the 10 weeks. We did have 11 maps, but Huckleberry was definitely one of the most liked in terms of the most positive feedback that we got. Oh, what happened?
We just saw Paul's Dave, I think, jump next to the finish.
They got finalists. They got Pulse Dave, you mean?
Yeah, Switch is now finalist. Also, interesting fact here, Switch 2 rounds ago drove a time that is just 0.1 second away from world record on Impusa. Yeah, Huckleberry.
Crazy speed.
Lots of transitions where you can initiate speed slides. And we've seen Switch just pull off always in the end section on this map. I remember a few rounds where he was battling with Kirill and some others for first place. And she would always have like this unique line where she would just absolutely come out of nowhere and pretty much get them in the last stretch to the finish.
I mean, I don't know if anybody was kind of watching Switch through Craicy's point of view, but I mean, the line that Switch was taking was so close to the edges that they actually did fall off in the warm-up, but like already just seeing those lines that she's taking, it's insane how close she is and how much she's willing to risk even when she's already finalist.
Absolutely aggressive. Yeah, I mean, she could just kick back and relax a little bit because, you know, she just needs one more round to book her ticket to the semifinals, and we'll see if she's actually going to be able to pull that off in this next round as we get into the first round on Huckleberry.
Right, first round on Huckleberry, so we are going to pay a little bit more attention this time to this round as we do have a finalist with Switch. They are going to start, and Shadowner is slightly lagging behind in terms of pace. Craicy, with the interesting line, is kind of benefiting them at the moment with being in second place. Switch with those very tight, very close lines on the edge, and this time I feel like they are playing it a little bit safe. But Craicy is losing some speed. Pulse Dave, he does need to step it up, and this is where he needs to start playing faster. And hopefully he can stick with the second place. And we see Switch just pulling away. It's almost hopeless with how fast she's going. It's insane.
Yeah.
And, oh no, Craicy just actually wrecked.
Oh, no.
From my perspective, so that's unfortunate. And I believe somebody else wrecked as well. I think that was Shadowner that wrecked, if I'm...
No, they
managed
to
made
finish.
it. Okay. But Switch is first place, so that means Switch is moving on to the semifinals, and now we have our group of 3. And quite honestly, it's kind of a toss-up. I mean, Shadowner does have a 22-point advantage. But with how everybody's been driving, I would say that between Craicy and Shadowner, like it could go either way depending on how consistent these next several rounds are going to go.
Yep, but we actually see Pulse Dave in the lead at the moment. He needs to pull back big time to still have... Oh, he actually falls off here.
Oh, no. I mean, that is an issue with risking it. I mean, you can be fast and sometimes get in your head, and while you're risking it, you, of course, have the ability to not make it and crash out. And honestly, in this type of style of competition, it's worse to crash out and not finish your run. You'd be better off, honestly, just having good consistent finishes. I think, honestly, for Pulse Dave, the issue is that Pulse Dave is actually DNF'd more than anybody else in this first group phase. And that's hurting him tremendously at this point because he has few points, 45 points. So hopefully he can get his act together before Shadowner reaches the 140 point mark. Hopefully Craicy will actually kind of show up here too, but at this point I do feel like Shadowner is slightly pulling away.
Yeah, we actually see Shadowner overtaking Dave here, and Craicy actually crashed out again. Oh no.
You're ruining my Cinderella storyline. Come on, man. Oh no.
Yeah, but to actually see Pulse Dave is really, really close. Oh my god, that was a photo finish. Within 0.01 of a second, yeah.
Yeah, 1/100th. Ooh, that's gotta hurt, but it was a great round.
Yeah.
But Shadowner, hopefully, I mean, Shadowner's got to start feeling slightly better at this point, knowing that they are starting to pull away.
Oh no, and we see Dave just clipping the edge of the deco block there again. I mean, he was...
It's so painful. It hurts.
It really just hurts my heart. I mean, at this point, it's more than just unfortunate. Yeah. But Shadowner and Craicy actually going head to head here. I mean, they're within 0.1 of a second of each other, actually.
0.1 or 0.2, but yeah.
I didn't notice I do have my dashboard enabled. I'm very sorry for that. Just noticed that. Let me get rid of that really quick.
Yeah, so I mean, Dave, it's looking rough, man. I don't know if you're gonna be able to make it at this point. I mean, miracles can happen, but at this point you really gotta hope that Shadowner just has a massive mental void in the next like 5-10 rounds. I mean, yeah, it's not looking good for Dave, but what it is looking good for is Shadowner. I mean, 110 points, and he's won the last 4 rounds, I believe. So, good on him.
This time, Dave actually... He has a very good start. He's consistently pulling away from Shadowner and Craicy. But Shadowner with the better line here and actually just overtaking in the middle of the round and then just carrying that through until the finish line. Yeah, just 2 rounds away from becoming a finalist himself.
Yeah, I mean, so let's talk about groups really quickly as we are warming up in Avalanche again. So we've hit all 4 maps. We're back to Avalanche starting out. Remembering correctly, Craicy actually performed better here, so maybe by a miracle, maybe Craicy can actually pull back some points and make it a little bit more interesting. But there is, unfortunately, a 42-point gap, so that means that even if Craicy wins every round, Shadowner has to at least, DNF 3 or 4 rounds? Or finish last at this point? Because, I mean, 20 points and then they're a finalist. Or, well, even if they're a finalist, they have to win a round. So, I mean, there's definitely more opportunities for Craicy to get back in here. But, I mean, it's going to be a bit of a climb.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Craicy needs to pull himself together and just show up like he did on this map when he first saw it. And he did have very good performance here. We just needs to focus up and actually deliver. He still wants to have a chance of moving on to the semifinals.
Well, let's see if he can focus in this next round as we are starting up with Avalanche. If it will load. It is frozen? Is it frozen
Nope.
again?
So far, Crazy, Dave, and Shadowner are actually being pretty much within 0.05 of a second of each other. Oh, and Crazy actually hitting one of those pillars there on the sausage road. And there he is, Shadowner, just pulling away with the lead. That is actually very unfortunate. And I think Dave DNF'd as well. Shadowner pretty much having a free round here.
Yeah, that is so unlucky for the both of them. But I mean, lucky for Shadowner. I mean, that makes it easier for him. Now he's just got to win one more round and then he's a finalist.
Yep.
So that's good to know. On my end, unfortunately, I have no visuals, but I can watch through the stream. It's okay. But here we are going through the next round, and hopefully, I mean, at this point, it's kind of looking like it's going to be Shadowner, but maybe.
Yeah, it's looking grim for Crazy and Dave, but Dave actually pulling away with a good start here, and not hitting the pillar this time. Playing as Steve's, but Crazy's actually catching up a little bit. And what happened to Shadowner? He's still there, just lagging a little bit behind this round. Maybe he's just taking it easy, giving the other boys like a little taste of victory.
He just wants to make it interesting, you know? There's nothing wrong with making it interesting. But, I mean, Pulse Dave, I mean, not a bad run. I mean, he did finish second, not a bad run, but that's what we needed to see the first time we went through Avalanche, not now. Unfortunately, it's way too late for him at this point.
Yeah.
And, I mean, yikes is all I gotta say for my prediction for Pulse Dave. I was really hoping, because I mean, I was paying attention to his placements during the regular season, and like, he was pretty impressive. So it's kind of a bummer, but honestly, Shadowner, despite all the commentary that I've had, is not a surprising second place pick.
Not at all, no.
Yeah, I mean, technically, seeding wise, they should be the ones that go as the second seed, since Shadowner was 8th seed and actually tied with Chroma in points wise, but due to the coin flip, it was Shadowner that ended up with the 8th seed. But still, I mean, that's not bad. Getting a decent group to where he feels like he could get this, and now he is finalist. So let's see if he can win one out.
Yeah.
I think at this point, Pulse Dave is pulling ahead though, and
yeah.
I mean, this is the interesting part. So for Shadowner, it's going to be winning again, which he's been doing a good job. But sometimes when people know it's their last chance and they only got a few more runs before something happens, crazy things can happen. But unfortunately, we now see Shadowner ahead. So maybe Pulse Dave can be something that can block that, but unfortunately, I think Shadowner's got it so far.
Yeah, and Crazy unfortunately dropped out of this round already, and this is Shadowner winning his second place and a spot in the semi-finals. GG's to Crazy and Pulse Dave, and also shoutouts to Pulse Dave, who probably like 4 or 5 a.m. for him.
That's true. I did not think about that. That's right.
Yeah,
the crazy
from
time
Australia,
change.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy for him. So yeah, I mean, GG's all around. Good try for Pulse Dave and Craicy. They didn't go home without anything though for making the top 16. They did earn €5 each. So at least they got something to take home as a consolation prize. And I mean, they got to maybe improve their FS skills a little bit while throughout the 10 weeks. So GG's to them. But a bigger congratulations and continuing the storyline of Switch's dominance throughout this entire competition, that group was nothing to her. It was insane how just like if it wasn't even for that one accidental DNF from the technical issue that she had, I mean, insane. She won every round like she did in the EFS regular season. It's insane.
Right, yeah. It was absolutely crazy.
And then also big props to Shadowner as well. Like I said, consistency is going to be the big theme here for these first groups. I mean, for the entire tournament, but definitely for these first group matches. And yeah, Shadowner did it. He's through to the semifinals. So
yeah, Marie just saying it's 5:35 for Dave a.m. So yeah, probably woke up super tired. I mean, nevertheless, absolutely admirable performance by both Craicy and Dave. And I actually hope we see more from them in the FS scene.
Yeah, so quickly, let's talk about the semifinals really quickly. So Switch is going to be in semifinal 1, and obviously we won't see who Switch has to go up against because she was the first opponent, and Shadowner is going to slot into the second semifinal. So it'll be interesting to see. So for semifinal 1, I know you can't see it unfortunately, and I wish we had a graphic, but I'll kind of explain it to you right now. For semifinal 1, it is going to be the winners of qualifier 1 and 4, so group 1 and 4, and semifinal 2 will be groups 2 and 3. So, and then it goes opposite, it flips opposite for the second place. So that's the best and easiest example I can give you. But yeah, I mean, congrats to Switch. They'll be in semifinal 1, and then Shadowner will be in semifinal 2 as a. Let's see. I believe they will be considered a 5th seed. I forgot to put that in my graph. It's okay though. But I do have Everybody on the stream does have access to the tournament bracket. It is in the announcements in our Discord channel. If you haven't joined our Discord channel yet, it is EvoTM. Wait, Discord. Wait,
Discord.gg/EvoTM. There's also the link below the stream.
Nice. Yes. There we go. Bam.
Right.
You would think I should know this, but unfortunately, so much information goes through my head and goes out the other ends. Whatever that end is. We're not going to go there. Anyways, so we are going to take a short break before we hop into the next group match. And that will be the final match for this evening. I hope you've enjoyed this stream so far. We are going to take about a 15-minute break, and then we will return for Group 3. There we go. That's the word. A. All right. We will see you then. All right, and we are back with. Ooh, and I hear myself. Sorry, I need to mute the stream. We are back with the group two or group three actually, match two of the day, group three. With it's gonna be Ox, Chroma, Purple, and Flashtube. We got Germany versus Switzerland today. Let's go!
Yeah, we got the German-speaking quarterfinal. Should be interesting. Um, Mostly interested in how prepared Chroma is today. Um,
Did he get enough sleep? Is the question.
that is the real question.
I
Yes,
mean,
you're absolutely
the
right.
first question was, is he going to wake up in time for it today? The second question is, if he got enough sleep for it.
Oh, he's in chat saying he slept for 22 hours. Uh,
Ah,
that is
okay.
absolutely
That is
impressive.
the giga sleep. He got the giga slip. Nice. So hopefully that 22 hours like benefits him, but whew, all right. So we have an Evo guy in, and that's why we kind of crack jokes about Chroma. And we are going to be as unbiased as possible in this cast. I am actually excited to watch Ox because honestly, Ox for the weeks that he participated, for me, I knew Ox was a good full speed player, but I just didn't realize how good of a full speed player he is. Right, the insane like ability that he's shown in the first several weeks was pretty amazing. I mean, he had two second place finishes and then two third place finishes on top of that. The other ones were just fourth, fifth, and sixth. I mean, he gained so many points that he didn't even have to really play the final 3 weeks of the competition. I mean, at that point you're playing for seed, and I think he honestly realized that once Kirill was coming in and then Switch obviously had number one, that he was like, I'll be happy with third. But honestly, I am excited to see how he drives today. I'm excited. You have no idea.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, Switch actually, Ox was actually sick the last 2 weeks. I hope he's recovered by now. Or as I know, he's feeling better. But yeah, my boy Ox, way too kind guy. He did actually, yeah, as you mentioned, two second place finishes, two third place finishes, which is exactly enough for like two doner kebabs in Switzerland. So yeah,
Yes, two dinner kebabs. Yes. He must win the dinner kebabs today. Actually, that's interesting. So we do have some people in here. I mean, I didn't really talk about it with Switch because I mean, Switch earned a ton of money. I believe she won about 150 euros if I
150
look at
euros
it
just
correctly.
from the regular season. Yep.
Yeah, she earned 150 euros just from the regular season. And now we have two of the other top eight earners. We have Oxra, who earned 30 euros over the 10 weeks. And then we have Chroma, who earned a measly 10, but 10 more than what I got from this competition. Hey, so, I mean, good on them. And then Purple and Flashtube, of course, regardless of how they end up today, they are going to get 5 euros. But let's talk about Purple. I mean, for me, Purple's been there. Is there anything interesting that you can point out that Purple has performed in any way? I mean, I'm looking at the stats right now, and I see an average of about a 10th place finish for Purple. So there, but just not at the point where one could say that they have the easiest chance of getting through, right?
Not exactly. I mean, you're kind of correct, but also you have to think about the team he's in, Ute. It was actually just like a team made for fun. Like they weren't even performing all that well in FMS, and um, there's a bunch of players just from teams that didn't really perform well in the 4-speed major series. They're actually showing a big time in this competition. It just goes to show that, you know, they perform fantastic. Well, I
I
mean,
mean,
if
I
you're
know
a
what you're
Ute
saying, right?
fanboy, then yes, they did perform fantastic in FMS. But yeah, Purple 10th place, and I mean his teammate Thunder almost making it into the top 16 as well.
I
Just
know. Oh,
barely missing
you
out.
had to remind me. I've been rooting for Tundle for like so long, and I kept on telling Tundle like make it to every week, do better. And like he was so close, but he missed out by, I believe, 15 points. And that was
Yeah.
somebody who I was expecting to actually make the top 16 just because he was so consistent. But unlucky, or Pech gehabt, as they say in German. But maybe
Oof.
next time, maybe next season. Did you just oof me?
Yes, I did oof you.
Look,
Uh,
I will flaunt my German knowledge if I want to. Okay.
yes, but this
Uh,
is an English-speaking stream, Erin.
but
Yes.
you said doner kebab, which is kind of a
I
German
mean, true,
sort of
but
word.
that's Turkish.
All right, whatever. All right, I'll let you have that one. But so yeah, let's talk about who was the last one. Flashtube, yes, Flashtube. So interesting story with Flashtube. So with the way that the current structure is set up with the tournament at the moment, with the groups and everything, we had to kind of scramble and try to get who could play for Friday because obviously not everybody is free on Friday, and Flashtube was actually meant for group uh, two, I believe it was.
Yeah.
But he got swapped with Dream because Dream wasn't able to play, and we tried to make it at least fair for everybody. And luckily enough, Flashtube and Dream are just one seed apart. So Flashtube actually got a better seed, and Dream got the worst seed. So, I mean, it'll be interesting because now for Flashtube, he was expecting to play against. Let's see here. He was expecting to play against Kirill, Def, and Vilcanos, but now he's playing against Ox, Chroma, and Purple, which is kind of scary, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be in a fight with Chroma and Ox. Like maybe in real life, but definitely not on a full speed map. I mean, these
maybe
two
maybe in
alone.
real life he could go toe to toe with them, but in this situation where full speed is the chat of the game, then yeah,
Yeah,
unfortunately it's going to be a tough order. So
definitely. But hey, I mean, we saw Crazy performing as well. So maybe Flashtube is pulling out some tricks out of his hat. Uh, we're gonna
maybe
see.
maybe he does what, like you said, maybe he does what I wanted Craicy to do, which is be that Cinderella story for
Yeah,
this
exactly.
group and everything. I mean, Flashtube has the skill. He's done really well in the competition. Let's see here. He on average 15th. That's what his seed is at the moment. But I mean, during the weeks, he had some good weeks. I mean, finishing 10th, his best finish was 8th in the very first week on Refuge. So hopefully today, since Refuge is one of the maps, maybe he'll continue to perform well on that map. The others in the teens. So we're talking about an average of about 13th place. Really is what he ended up in. But unfortunately, he had 1 or 2 weeks that were kind of just a little bit lackluster for him. But maybe he'll surprise us, and I want him to surprise us. I think that the best thing about competitions is that you never know what you're expecting, right? You have the top players, and I mean, you have the players who are the favorites, but sometimes things happen differently, you know?
Yeah, I mean, if my years of watching esports have told me anything, then it's never underestimate the underdogs. Like major upsets can happen any day of the week. Like it's literally up to your performance that day. It can vary widely, and who's to say that FlashTube uh can show up and get like first or second place here in this quarterfinal match. It would definitely be amazing. I mean, who knows? Maybe you pop some one shot energy chews and just zooms past everybody. And talking
And
about one shot,
And yeah, speaking of one shot, and that's pretty nice segue. Thank you, commentator, who's not part of Evo, that helped us kind of get into that. But before I go into our sponsor, let's talk about what the guys are playing for. I mean, we have been talking about getting to the final, but what do they get out of the final? The winner, the first place finisher of the final gets 200 euros, the second place gets 100, and then the third place gets 50 euros. All other players who haven't earned any money through the competition will earn 5 euros as a consolation prize. If you won any money during the week, unfortunately, that's all the money you're going to get. But everybody who won money during the week won more than 10 euros. So you're still way above what the consolation prize is.
I mean,
So,
it's
with
better
that being
than no money.
Yeah, better than no money. I'm not even getting paid for this. What am I doing here?
Yeah,
No, I'm
what am
kidding.
I doing here? Like, why
What
am
are
I
we
spending?
doing?
Yeah, why did we spend 12
What am
weeks
I doing with my
organizing this?
life? Oh, no. No, but for real, I love this kind of stuff. So hey, it's fine for me. And big thanks though to One Shot Energy. They are the ones who are providing this prize pool, a $700 prize pool, $350 during the 10 weeks that I've already been giving out, and then $350 for the finals prize pool. If you don't know what One Shot Energy is, they are energy chews. They have caffeine in them. They also have some non-caffeine versions that they're testing out right now. Secret, not so secret, I don't know.
No,
But they are.
they're actually giving them out for all orders at the moment. Their new Focus Energy Chews.
Yeah, I just got
Um,
some. See, look here. Sponsored product. Easy. But yeah, no. Yeah, I just got some of their stuff and honestly, if you like caffeinated style stuff, obviously it's pretty delicious. For me anyways. It does take an adjustment. Everybody says it takes an adjustment. It definitely takes an adjustment, but I mean it's pretty addictive after that. But big thanks to One Shot Energy. If you want to try some One Shot Energy, you can check them out at oneshotenergy.com. Use the promo code EVO and you will get 25% off your order. I believe
20% off every order.
20% off. Thank you.
Yep.
20% off your order. And if you are in the US, if you're in the US, shipping is free. If you're in Europe, you do have to pay a minimum. But in my opinion, it's something interesting to check out at least. So give them a shout out and thank you, One Shot, for sponsoring this event. We are here, we are starting, and I can't believe we actually had enough content to get us to this point, but we are at the. Is this actually. We're live round, aren't we? This is round one, actually.
Nope, we
Nope. Oh,
will
okay. We
be
haven't started.
moving
Okay.
on to Empusa this time. Randomizer giving us the Empusa, Refuge, Huckleberry, and Avalanche. Let me just reset the match here, and we will be moving on to the next map.
All right, and our map is going to be. Which map was it? It's going
Empusa.
to. Empusa. All right. Empusa. There's two ways to pronounce it, but I'm going to say Empusa.
Yep.
We are going to start out here. There is going to be a minute warm up, and then we will get to see who wins out in Germany versus Switzerland, or maybe one German and one Swiss will win today.
I'm honestly expecting a draw here. I do fully expect Chroma and Ox to be spot 1 and 2. In no particular order, but I feel like Purple and Flashtube have. They do have their work cut out for them if they want to move on to the semifinals and not one of these titans out.
And I definitely agree with that. The issue is, and as somebody who is from Evo, you would think I'd be biased, but actually there's an issue with, I would say, Chroma's gameplay is that, is he going to be consistent? Because, I mean, he has played FMS, and we have seen his stuff from FMS, and unfortunately, in the most recent season, he wasn't that consistent. Do you think that he's been able to get over that hump that he had in the previous Full Speed Major Series season?
Definitely. I mean, Chroma is known as a person that can dedicated a lot of time and effort into something that is... I mean, if he puts his mind to it, he can definitely focus up. And I've actually seen him train. I see that he set some new records and actually took this serious. And let's see if he's actually up to the challenge. Oh, and we see Purple flipping the checkpoint.
It seems like there are two people that actually went out in the first round. That was Purple and... Was that Purple and Ox?
Ox, yeah. Flashtube is actually leading this round. Cinderella's story coming true right here. I mean, we see Flashtube actually being in first place, and let's hope he can keep that lead up until the finish. But Chroma with the better line here, overtaking Flashtube, but it's gonna be neck and neck into the finish line, with Chroma taking first place, winning the first round of this.
Yeah, I mean, that's crazy. If only two people, I mean, the first couple rounds are super important. So last thing you want to be taking is
Oh no,
these.
Chroma is lagging out.
Oh no, Chroma!
That German internet absolutely coming in clutch here.
The snow is affecting his internet connection.
Yeah,
I
we
have no proof of
will
that.
be, as per the rules, we will be finishing this round. It already started, he left the starting point. But we will be taking a technical timeout, in case Chroma disconnects here. Let me just make sure he's actually still with us. But yeah, Flashtube actually leading here in front of Ox. Oh, Chroma's actually driving? What?
Okay, interesting.
Okay.
Gigalag, he's still driving just like Gigalag. All right.
Okay. Alright, yeah, Flashtube actually in the lead. The Cinderella's... Oh,
no,
a caster's
Flash.
curse. I'm so
Flash.
sorry, Flashtube.
Flash, why?
Yeah, leading with 16 points here at the moment. Not after this round, though. Ox...
Yeah, definitely not after this. This is such a weird group. I mean, sadly, a technical issue with Chroma. We weren't really able to see whether he was having issues or not. I think he was just lagging.
Yeah, it seemed to have been like some desync issue, because his times did get updated, but I could not spectate him. But yeah.
But so far, an interesting first map. I mean, if Ox continues to drive the way he currently is, I mean, he does look like he is going to be finishing first, unless Chroma takes over.
Yeah, Chroma just coming out of nowhere with the better SDs here and actually sniping the victory.
Oh.
Within 0.1 of a second, actually. That is very impressive. He was actually 0.2 behind throughout the round.
So what I was gonna say is I was gonna say that it was gonna be an interesting group because Ox was gonna win, and Chroma come in second, and then it was gonna be really tight. But with Chroma winning, now he's pulled a slight lead ahead, and maybe he's gonna be able to grow his lead from here on out.
Yeah, we can actually see all four players here taking a different line as we do that little downhill section there, and so far, Flashtube and Ox being pretty much neck on neck, and Flashtube actually pulling ahead of his fellow Swiss citizen.
That's just so unfair, though, with Chroma pulling ahead like the way he does. If you notice, it's kind of how Chroma plays. He starts behind, and then he just gets these insane lines where he just pulls ahead of the competition at the last critical moment.
Yeah. We see actually Ox and Flashtube being within 0.05 of a second of each other. They're giving it their all, especially Flashtube. Oh no! What?
No,
I need to stop
Flash,
mentioning him. I'm really sorry.
Stop mentioning it. Stop caster cursing him. I mean,
I wasn't even watching it.
I mean, this is not the time to be making these mistakes. I mean, the first couple rounds are so important in regards to points. I mean, we see Ox here pulling ahead, though, and maybe he's going to pull himself back out. I mean, at this point, it's definitely Chroma and Ox at this point.
Oh,
and...
Purple clipped the wall right. He went low too soon. It's the question if he can still finish. He's still within the 2-second range. It's getting close.
It's going to be close.
Yeah, it's going to be close.
Let's see if he's going to be able
2.4,
to pull it out.
that's not looking good.
Looking
we actually see
Chroma
with a 53.9.
And Purple wasn't able to finish in time either. Oh, that is so unlucky.
Yeah. That is very unlucky.
New map, new me. Hopefully, that's what some of these players are saying because they need to have a new me in Refuge. Yep. This was the map that Flashtube performed better on in the first week, but that was 11 weeks ago. So hopefully he's still got that pep in his step from the first week.
Yep.
But at this point, Ox and Chroma, they're starting to pull. Well, Ox is only 4 points ahead, luckily, but Chroma is starting to pull away.
Yep.
And I'm hoping that Purple unfortunately has been pretty weak so far, and I'm hoping that Purple will kind of step up here.
Yep. So far, only managed to finish 3 out of the 5 rounds on Impusa. I don't know if it's the nerves. I don't know if it's just, I don't know, poor training, poor preparation. It could be all kinds of factors, you know. I mean,
There could be so many factors to
yeah,
it, but I
exactly.
agree. They're obviously whatever's happening, it's not good, and
Obviously not. No.
hopefully he can it could be a self-confidence thing. I mean, it is one of those things when you see yourself as a lower seed, you start getting in your head. Hopefully he's not getting into his head, because like again, like we've been saying, anything can happen here.
Yep.
And I mean, Flashtube has been performing well, and then all of a sudden I think he also got into his head. He's like, okay, I'm ahead now, maybe I have a chance here. And then as he started thinking that, we start seeing mistakes. The biggest thing about competitions like these, especially in tournaments like these, group stages, you have to keep your mental in check and just focus on what you have to do. Don't
Yep.
worry about your placement at the time. Obviously you have to, but don't worry about what everybody else is doing. Just focus on what you can do, the best that you can do, you know?
Yeah. Just give it 110% and just, you need to stay focused. That's really the important part, and especially
Focus is
on
the
maps,
key. Oof.
especially on maps like Refuge, which is one little mistake will send you flying out of the map. Like, miss that ramp cut by just like 1 centimeter and you're gone, or you're just flying across the entire stadium.
Yeah, I think unfortunately Flashtube in that round got a little bit of airtime at the end, and that's because he was ahead and actually keeping up with Chroma and Ox. But unfortunately, we see if you make the mistake, Refuge, I would
He
say
flipped there.
I did play Refuge the first week, and it is not a forgiving track. I mean, it's not extremely difficult, but if you make a mistake, like you are going to pay dearly for it, you know?
Yeah, it just carries through, and especially this speed check right here, this jump, like if you clip any of the previous sections, you're not gonna make it across, and that's just game over. Yeah, we see Flashtube clipping at the beginning and now being already a second behind Ox, who's in first place at the moment. Closely followed by Chroma and Purple. Purple actually going for the nice ramp cut here and managing to catch up a little bit to Flashtube. But Ox taking the ramp.
Or Purple. Oh, Purple catching up to Flashtube.
Yes,
my apologies. Yes.
In terms
but we also
of
see Ox catching up to Chroma at least, so that's an interesting portion too. But already it does seem like Chroma and Ox, since they are kind of trading wins, they are already pulling away from Flashtube and Purple.
Yeah, they're kind of manifesting themselves as these titans at, you know, the top of the mountain. This unsurmountable mountain, it seems like. But Flashtube actually keeping up with Chroma and Ox here in second place at the moment. Let's see if
An interesting different line that he takes compared to Chroma. You notice he goes further up earlier than what Chroma does. Chroma takes that tube very
Yeah, he
late.
actually has more speed than Chroma. He's actually catching up.
And a second place finish. Oh, but he got the finish. That was so close.
That was so close. He was lucky.
He had such a secure like second place there, but with that clip, he almost lost it.
Yeah.
I think he actually lost 0.1 or 0.2 from just clipping that CP.
Yeah. He could have been gone like a little bit more to the right, and he's just stopped dead in his tracks. Yeah, I mean, Flashtube.
This round, though, Flashtube actually has a decent line, and Purple's keeping up with him too. Where is Ox in this equation? Ox is actually a little bit behind right now.
Yeah, let's look at Ox, who's not.
He is slightly lagging behind. I believe that's a 0.2 difference.
There we go.
Right now.
Yeah, 0.25 seconds behind. Purple is currently in the lead.
Flashtube, these lines are a bit crazy. He took that one tube way too wide and unfortunately lost a lot of speed. Now
Ox actually not taking the ramp cut, but it's paying off for him. He overtook Flashtube right at the end. And Purple winning it ahead of Chroma by like 0.04 of a second. Hello, Purple. Good morning to you, sir.
I was so distraught by seeing Flashtube just lose all his momentum and his advantage, but that is cool for Purple, though, that he was able to get ahead of that. I wish I would have paid attention a little bit that more. I'm just very caster favored right now with Flashtube. At the same time, probably caster cursing him like you were.
Oh, it seems like we lost Chroma this round. So, more opportunities for Ox to close that gap and maybe itch out the first place. And also more opportunities for Flashtube and Purple to, you know, catch up a little bit.
Yeah, Purple's gaining, and he just actually passed Flashtube in the previous loop sections and is going to slot himself into second very nicely. Flashtube was close, but not close enough. But things are a little bit more interesting now. Ox is now going to be 1 point ahead? Or
9 points behind Chroma.
9 points behind. I thought maybe the points hadn't had it. But.
Yeah, Flashtube is actually only 1 point ahead of Purple at this point. Purple really catching up in those 2 last rounds there. And we're on to a Huckleberry. We said early in the first quarterfinal, very well received map, and actually, Aaron, Statsman, can you tell us the finishes of these players on the 2 weeks that Huckleberry was played?
Do you remember which weeks Huckleberry was on? Because yes, I can.
I think that was week 6 and 7, if I'm not mistaken.
Ooh. Well, how about I start talking a bunch of nonsense while I find this information?
Yeah.
But, I mean, interesting thing about Huckleberry was that, like you said, it was very well received. There and is one of the few maps that have theming that matches it per se. It's one some full speed mappers, they just kind of slap scenery on there, and it's not it's more about the map than the scenery. This one's kind of a little bit of both. You kind of have scenery with the Western style feel kind of playing in with the map, which is interesting.
Yeah, definitely a lot of eye candy on this map.
But it wasn't just obviously scenery is not the main factor for this. It's the fact that these lines are so clean to have, and you have a lot of playroom with this map in order to get those lines that are going to be able to put you above other people. At the same time, there are some tight sections that you have to focus on. So it's really satisfying transitions and loops that you're going to be coming across in this map. And that's why what we're coming across now.
I mean, compared to Refuge, for example, you don't really have that big speed checks, but you have so many sections where, with a little bit of a difference in your line, you can gain so much time and potentially even overtake the leader. But Chroma here showing up convincingly and just beating the competition by 0.4 of a second. And that is actually not all that far away from the world record. It was like 0.6 behind. I mean, it's a decent time for sure.
Yeah, it is definitely a decent time. And we're seeing Chroma still keeping his lead very slightly, but Flashtube and Purple, now they're fighting against each other on who can catch up to Ox, and Ox gets to play a little bit of a half and half type of game where he has to, one, keep with Chroma, but also keep away from Flashtube and Purple. But right now he's doing a pretty good job with that, keeping ahead with Chroma.
Yeah, let's look at this head-to-head matchup right now, because these two are giving us like a real treat of a fight. Like, within 0.1 of a second until the end of the round. Like, that is just absolutely stunning to watch. But Chroma showing up on this map, being very convincing.
So I do finally, this entire time while we've been talking, I did finally find the information for Huckleberry. Week 7 was the week that it was first introduced, and then week 8 as well was its exit week. So week 7 we did have Chroma not there. Chroma was not there, but Ox was, and Ox actually finished third in that event. So that is where he did earn some money. We also have Flashtube. Let's look at Flashtube. Flashtube was 10th in that, and then Purple was 8th.
You just had to mention him. Right as you said it, he just flew off the map. Oh,
No.
purple. But
Purple.
yeah, Flashtube actually also not finishing here, but again, Chroma and Lee with really nice time. It seems like he PB'd here with a 51.084. Oh,
I mean, that
PB
wouldn't
on
be
the
surprising.
server at least, but
That wouldn't be surprising. I mean, we do not have any information on him playing on week 7, but Chroma did show up for the following week, and he did finish 7th. And Ox, actually, Ox and Chroma traded weeks. Ox didn't show up the final week, but Chroma showed up the first week that Huckleberry was played. So, but both the Purple and Flashtube finished about, well, Purple finished about the same. Purple actually improved on his second week, but Flashtube actually did worse.
He took like a little bit of a bad line through the tube and lost all his speed, and suddenly just falls behind Chroma and Ox. He was actually leading by like 0.1 of a second, but pretty much 50% of the map. Yeah, it kind of hurts. You see him have these amazing starts, and then he just falls back at the end. Like, one slip of your concentration, and it's just over.
Oh, Flashtube out again. That's insane.
Oh, no.
It's making it rough, and now, honestly, at this point, it's looking like the Chroma and Ox show, and we're already at the 5th round of Huckleberry.
Yep.
Might see Chroma hit finalist in the following map, which would be Avalanche, I believe.
Yeah, correct. We have not seen Avalanche in this quarterfinal yet.
So something might change in Avalanche. I mean, Avalanche was not a popular map with Chroma, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it had like mixed reception.
Right.
But I feel like it was definitely an interesting map built by CD and Afro, actually. Kind of weird. It was a fitting scenery for the time when it released. It was quite the contrast to Huckleberry, actually. Like, we're going from the desert to snowy mountains.
It's like Germany this week, where it was nice, warm, and sunny, and now it's snowing. So hey, the game reproduces real life.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what happens when you get into April. The weather just goes crazy. And that's actually, I'm kind of interested to see how Flashtube manages to perform on Avalanche. And
this, I believe, was not the strongest map for Flashtube.
And neither for Purple, if I remember correctly.
So
This
Avalanche was played week 8 and 9, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
In week 8, Flashtube really struggled that week, and then week 9 he did a little bit better, but did not reach his average finish that he normally has. So, which are the most recent weeks. So this is going to be a rough show for Flashtube. But hey, maybe his training paid off, and maybe we'll get a surprise. But I mean, that's what I'm hoping, at least, and hopefully we can see something interesting happen. But with Chroma, let's talk about Chroma really quickly. He's only 19 points away from finalist, and honestly, I think at this point, since he has been fairly consistent, I think he is going to get the first finalist spot. But I mean, we're starting with the first round right now, and we're going to see.
Yep. Also interesting to mention in warm-up, he just drove a time that is only 0.3 seconds away of Switch's world record. So Chroma's definitely shown up today. Like, he seems ready, he seems hungry, and
he's warmed up.
Yeah, definitely trained.
That 22 hours of sleep working for him at the moment.
Yep. I mean, who knows who's driving? Maybe it's Chromet that's driving, actually.
Maybe it is Chromet.
Yeah.
Maybe Chromet's showing a special appearance. I don't know how that will work with the rules that we have set, though. But it's something we can figure out later.
I don't think we have any rules for alter egos in the rule book.
Fair.
Yeah.
Oh, no, Flashtube! Oh,
did he miss the finish?
He missed the finish. He went too high and he failed.
Oh, no.
My soul. Watching this is painful.
Yeah. Let's actually take a look at Purple here, who has been keeping tabs on that. He's been stepping on Flashtube's toes here, only 2 points behind him, and actually has like an interesting starting line, a little bit different from the others, and gave him a little bit of a speed boost, but now he's sort of falling behind here.
Yeah, I mean, right now, I mean, we have Chroma pulling away. If he finishes first, he is gonna get finalist mode here.
Yep.
Purple's actually not doing too bad this round.
Yep. Keeping
and he
ahead
might
of
pull ahead
Fox
of
and Flashtube here.
Yep.
Flashtube, as you mentioned, he's struggling. Currently trailing far behind Ox with 0.25 of a second. And yeah, that non-finish last round was actually really hurting him. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Chroma, the first finalist of the second quarterfinal today. Means he only needs to win one more round to book his ticket to the semifinals.
Yeah, so let's cast this right now. Since it is finalist mode, we're in finalist mode in the part of this competition. So we do have Chroma trying to search for first place, and he is getting a very fast line that is going to pull him ahead of Flashtube. I'm going to pull a different perspective here so I can see how far Chroma is pulling. Flashtube is doing pretty good, but his lines are super wide, and unfortunately his speed drifts are getting messier when he does that. So he is falling behind in that regard.
He also clipped a little triangle there, just a little bit of a tiny clip,
But Chroma, I think he is going to get this. I believe we have one final turnover into the wall ride, and Chroma is going to be our first winner for this Group 3. Congratulations to Chroma, and now we're going to be shifting our focus to Ox, who is next in the lineup to possibly get finalist. He has 1 round left, or 2 rounds left, I believe.
He needs on this map, we're on the second to last round, yeah.
Second to last round. So he's got 2 more rounds to get here to get 20 points at maximum.
Yeah.
But Flashtube still is pretty fast if he can keep those lines clean.
Purple just crashed out.
Oh no.
But yeah, Flashtube actually overtaking Ox here with the wider line, taking a little bit more speed, not clipping this time. And neck on neck, like it's with less than 1/100th of a second of separating those two.
Ox is pulling ahead though.
Oh, Flashtube with the inner line here, maybe.
Inner line, but I think Ox is gonna get it. Yeah, Ox is gonna get it this time.
What a nice round, though. That was
a good
very,
round.
very close, yeah. Both very good times, yeah, actually.
An unlucky round for Purple, but maybe he can pull something out of his hat.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, their job, like Flashtube and Purple's job, are just to spoil Ox's day. They need to just
They need to ruin his self-confidence.
Yeah, they just need to, like, show up like they've never shown up in their lives before and just... They need to make him nervous. Like,
yeah, they need to make him sweat, but they have to get first ahead of him. I mean, Flashtube's doing a decent job, but...
Flashtube with his different line here again. Yeah, I don't know. But Purple actually with the more speed here.
Nice speed, but ooh, that line, the exit on that wall ride was unfortunately a little slow. But
no, he's pulling it. Oh no, he got a little bit of air time. Let's see.
Is he actually gonna get it?
Yes,
he's gonna get it.
Gets it.
Very nice. Everybody within 0.3 of each other, or 0.2 of each other.
Yeah, what a round here. And that was the last round we saw of Avalanche here. And now it's back to Mpuza.
Back to Mpuza, where Flashtube actually was performing really well on this map. So maybe he's gotten the jitters out of the way. I'm hoping he has. And maybe he can pull something up from inside of him, get that confidence to maybe make Ox sweat a little. I mean, Ox can get the finalist. That's not something that we want to have, but what they can do is deny Ox a win when he has finalists. So there's still some room. They still have a chance. They just got to keep fighting.
Let's talk about Ox a little bit. I mean, if you've ever watched his stream, he always keeps his cool. He never loses his calm. Like, he's just always cool, calm, and collected. And this is just what he's showing here. Like, I mean, apart from, you know, Chroma, he's just putting on a show here, completely dominating. And I don't know if Purple and Flashtube have what it takes to just boil the prize here.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, like you said, Ox, he's this cool collected guy. I don't. I mean, yeah, we only see what we've seen on stream, but even on stream, nothing literally tilts the man. He is untiltable.
yeah,
He's always got that chill stream, and I mean, hey, I mean, I'd be pretty chill too if I just get donuts all day, you know? So
pretty
I
much,
mean,
yeah.
but yeah, Purple and Flashtube, I mean, it really is about a self-confidence thing. That's the thing that the weaker seeds have to fight. But we are getting into this next round where Ox is just pulling ahead so far. I mean, not completely far. He's not completely out of the way. But, and I mean, Flashtube is keeping within a 0.1 time of him. And Purple's just slightly behind. It's interesting how different lines they take. Purple's taking a much wider line compared to everyone else. I think Flashtube may have clipped possibly that tunnel.
Ox is just...
Oh no, Purple just crashed out, so that means Purple is out for this round. But Ox is just
I think Ox
killing it.
Ox just wants to end this here. He doesn't want to see another
like,
map.
Right.
He's like, he feels
I'm
like,
good.
Yeah, Mpuza is where I've just
we played with the kids. Now it's time to finish this up.
Yeah, now it's time to put on the big boy pants and just you know, give these guys a show. But actually, falling behind here at the start already,
that was a sloppy line at the start.
Oh, and Flashtube clipping the checkpoint.
Flashtube, why?
Yeah,
and now Ox just has the cleaner line. I honestly think that Purple is not going to have the speed or the proper lines to
Purple
get to this
taking
point.
time here, actually.
And
yeah,
keeping within a 0.1.
He's going the inside line here, catching up to Ox and actually overtaking because he has more speed. We're on the finish line. Like, this is Purple's round.
Did he get it? Oh, he got it. Wow.
0.04 of a second, yeah. But Ox still qualifying as a finalist, though.
Now at this point, it's risk it all. There's nothing to lose at this point.
Yeah, you just need to not let Ox win a single time until either of you becomes finalist. Just give it your all.
Flashtube and Purple need to be that handshake meme right now and deny Ox of his happiness and his dinner for today.
And Flashtube actually making a really good job at that. 0.1 ahead of Ox at the moment. Let's just keep on
very nice lines by Flashtube. They're so risky too, but that's what we need to see. We need to see those risky lines, and we need to see fast lines.
So Flashtube really not wanting to be the neutral third party here, just gets left out of the big boy party.
Purple's out. It's just Flashtube now.
He's the only one that's ahead and spoils Ox's first chance at the semi-finals.
So one round spoiled. How many more rounds can we get? Purple, you gotta help us out, man. You gotta keep it going.
Gotta keep it interesting here at EFS.
Keep it interesting, and that last round wasn't it, but this round is somewhat different. I have lost the vision over. Ah, there we go. There's names. The issue with Purple on this map is that his line compared to Ox's is just... He's keeping up with Ox right now, but in general, it's just the lines are not as clean. And Flashtube...
Yeah, this section here is where Purple just... Actually, he's catching up.
He didn't do that. He didn't do that section too terribly. Flashtube is kind of out of the picture at this point.
He's actually catching up, and he proved once before that the inside line here is the faster one. He's taking it again, and it's neck on neck. Let's see, can he beat him? No, and he clips the finish ring. GG.
No, but I mean, GG. Good job on Ox. I know it kind of seems like we were casting against him, but we're just here. We want exciting games. And honestly, though, good job to Chroma. Good job to Ox. They did a fantastic job. They are moving on forward to the semifinals. And with that being said, that is our last match for the evening. But before we go, I mean, let's kind of review. I mean, we obviously had our group one, which had Switch and Shadowner, kind of the same story, honestly, where two people in their groups just kind of started slowly plugging away. There was clearly one individual that had like the best lead ever.
Yeah.
At best lead ever. That's kind of a weird way to explain it, but they had a really good lead building up, and they eventually just took it. And then you had the second person coming not too far behind, pretty close behind. So yeah, like I said, we have Switch and Shadowner who moved on to the semifinals, and now we have Ox and Chroma. So
Yeah.
that is going to put. Let me figure this out here. So Ox, actually no, Chroma was the winner. So Chroma is actually going to move on to semifinal 2 with Shadowner, and Ox is going to move to semifinal 1 with Switch. So we already got two big names in the semifinals, and if you're in group 2 or group 4, I'd be kind of scared to be stuck in semifinal 1. I would really hope that I get first place. Well, let's go over that one more time. So
Yeah,
for
I
group
mean,
4,
the thing
group 4 has,
is,
sorry, go ahead.
we still have big names left over.
Yeah, we
Like,
do have some big
let's
names.
bring up the top 16 again. I mean, Group 2 that is happening tomorrow at 2 p.m. CEST has names such as Kirill and Dave in it, both absolutely phenomenal drivers. We also have Villiknaz and Dream, who can show up and are definitely good for some surprises. And
Yeah,
then, last but not least, let's not forget about people like Acid Gorka, Kanjika. Like, there's 4 phenomenal names, at least 8 phenomenal names coming up tomorrow, and they all want a shot at that semi-final. I mean, Max 347 and Ollie 135, they're a little bit of underdogs, I would say.
right.
But definitely Acid Gorka, Conchika, Kirill, Dave are the names to look out for tomorrow.
I mean, definitely, and I mean, it's also they are the top seeds in those groups, so they are the ones that are going to be expected to move on to the semifinal. But maybe we'll get some interesting results for tomorrow.
Yep.
Like Chris said, we do have our matches tomorrow again, so we will be streaming. We will be opening our stream 30 minutes ahead of time, so a 15-minute pre countdown and then a 15-minute pre-show
Yep.
to kind of go over what we had today, and then tomorrow the groups that we are going to have. And so once again, our first match is going to start at 1600
Nope,
CET.
1400.
1400. I have it wrong on my thing. Whoopsies.
1400 for quarterfinal
I
3,
can't do 24-hour clocks.
and
I'm American.
1500 CT for
There we go.
quarterfinal 4.
1400 CET is going to be the first match. That is going to be quarterfinal 2. And at 1500, that'll be quarterfinal 4. And then we will have semifinals start right afterwards, and then following grand finals. So make sure to be with us tomorrow. It's going to be a big day, a very long day for us casters who are going to have to cast all those matches. But we hope that you will join us. And once again, big thank you to One Shot Energy who has sponsored this tournament. And we will hopefully see you tomorrow.
Absolutely. Thank you everybody for watching. Thank you everybody for following. I had absolute pleasure casting, and I had fun, Aaron. I hope
I
you
had
did.
fun too. I was nervous, but as we started getting into the vibe, I felt like we did a good, at least a good job, for
Yeah, definitely.
not avid full speed players, but at least we have the base knowledge. We are Evo, so
Yeah, and I mean
the mock guy
tomorrow.
says we are full speed players.
Yeah, I
So
mean tomorrow we might even have another special guest coming on. I heard
oh yeah, that's
a
true.
little birdie told me that there will be a certain full speed driver
We'll
coming.
have a full speed player who actually knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, so definitely guys, tune in tomorrow, follow the stream, follow us on Twitter, join the Evo Discord to stay up to date, and I'm so excited for tomorrow. Like I cannot wait to crown the
I'm ready.
first EFS champion. And yeah, it was fun, and tomorrow is going to be absolutely crazy.
Yeah, tomorrow's going to be fun. Don't stay up too late tonight. I know that the new campaign just come out, so don't be spending too much time. Get some good sleep. We will be back tomorrow, starting our show back at 13:30
Yeah,
CET. That is
that
1:30 p.m. And yeah, I believe that is
definitely
it. I think we're good.
definitely don't sleep 22 hours again, Chroma, or you'll miss the
Don't sleep
entire
22
night.
hours, but Chroma, please sleep. Please get some sleep and show up tomorrow. That's all we're
Yeah, get some
asking.
sleep. All right, I'm gonna find us somebody to raid, and
All right. Is this our goodbye? All right.
oh, I
That's
was
it.
muted
Oh,
already. I'm an idiot.
nice.
No, I'm gonna find us somebody to raid,
Oh,
and we will see you guys tomorrow.
all
Let's see
right.
who is on. Any
Do I have to sit
suggestions,
here the
chat?
entire time and stare at the audience and just be
Yes,
like,
yeah, you can join in with the Winka guys.
the
Uh,
Vinka guys?
yeah, the Winka guys. Let's actually see. Is Mark
I just
on
saw that on the
already?
stream. That was
No,
not
he's
sexy at
not.
all.
Um, any suggestions, chat? Bear the man. Okay, SBville. Hmm. Sounds like a good idea. Let's raid SB.
Espibo.
Yeah, he'll enjoy that. Have a good night, guys. See ya.